Alright, so you probably saw the title of this video and you're probably freaking out a little bit. Trust me, it's natural. But I can assure you that this title is not what it seems. I'm actually going to tell a story, which I've kind of told the story before, but we're going to tell a story about how I was probably about 5 to 10 seconds from clicking delete on my YouTube channel. And we're going to cover some more stuff here today. Think of this kind of being like one of those update videos, except for it's not one of those like really sad ones where I'm going to play the sad music and add some sort of rain effects to the screen. Or the one where I'm going to have the sad face on the thumbnail, because I always kind of find those weird. But if you do see that one, there's a good chance that I'm quitting YouTube. So yeah, I figured it was time to bring back a little bit of ATS also here on the channel. We're heading to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Hopefully gonna pick up a load. That way I have something to do while talking to you guys. I like to be productive when I'm doing stuff like this. So yeah, let's go and get it out of the way. I'm not quitting YouTube. This isn't one of those videos. There is a story though, and I haven't quite gone into detail about it. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about something that actually is bothering me on YouTube, and I should probably start with that first. Hold on, let's take the exit here. I read the comments every day, and my goodness, I don't know if I can ever make enough community posts or respond to enough comments to address a couple games on the channel, or the lack of a couple games on the channel. So yeah, let's start here. Stay tuned for the story about me almost quitting YouTube, and if you've got any questions, maybe channel-related questions or personal questions, comment down below. So yeah, I'm going to try to get to and answer as many of those as possible. But yeah, let's start off with the not so, I don't even know if you want to call it bad news. It really isn't bad news, it's just me addressing some stuff. So I've been getting a lot of comments, and you might be one of those commenters that has said, hey, where's the long drive? Hey, where's Mon Bazoo? Hey, where's Tiny Town? And I must tell you, those games aren't existing on the channel at the moment. Now, they are for various reasons, and I'm not saying they're not ever going to show back up. Where is the... Oh, is it back here? You know what? Screw it. We're going to the Walbert. But yeah, those games are not... Well, I'll take that back. I'm pretty sure Tiny Town is gone. And that's just because there's like literally nothing left to do. I'm not going to repeat the builds. I did do like a comeback series for a little bit, and not many people actually watched it, so I think it's like the vocal minority that actually want to like actually see that game, or would actually tune in to see that game, I should probably say. So yeah, there's not anything left to do. I really wish they would have done more with the game. I actually kind of wish there was a non-VR version of it. That way I could maybe go in and detail stuff a little bit more, because VR, honestly, if I'm in there too long, it makes me a little bit sick. Okay, I don't need anything like super long here. Is there really? Oh, no, there's no way that there's only 2 jobs here. There is literally only 2 jobs here. All right, we're gonna take a short one up. I probably should do this in Texas because I'm from Texas, but it's fine. Maybe I don't need a very long job here. But yeah, Tiny Town VR, I love the game. I love my original series, but it's just something I don't have interest in doing again. And it kind of boils down to, I know a lot of YouTubers, and I kind of used to do it a little bit. A lot of YouTubers, man, they play stuff, and you know there's not a chance they're actually having fun with what they're doing. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I'm kind of beyond that in my YouTube career. So I'm totally one of those people that are driving the wrong way in the parking lot when the spots are aimed this way. Yeah. But yeah, I'm kind of in that point in my career where it's not as much about like view chasing. No, don't get me wrong. Views are really nice. But I just think the way to obtain them these days, you know, there are games that break through that do really good for people that are just fun to play. But a lot of it, man, I don't know if you guys have heard about a couple terms, some brain rot, a specific number that's really popular right now. And I don't really want to go into like trends like that. So yeah, I just got to play what I want to play. And honestly, Tiny Town's not really one of those things I want to play. Now, the long drive and Mon Bazoo, those are 2 different stories. So Mon Bazoo is eventually going to get an update. Something to do with fishing. You get like a brand new boat. I am excited for it. It's just Santa Goat is taking his time, which is great. You know, Santa Goat, every time they do an update in Mon Bazoo, it's really high quality. So we're just in a holding pattern on that one. And I don't want to do like a 3rd series on it. Actually, is it 2? Maybe I'm on my 3rd series. I think I'm on my 3rd series, funny enough. Yeah, there's only so much we could do with building the cars. Like I think I've swapped the configuration of those 2 cars a million times. There's not really anything else to really do, so I think I have to rely on updates. Now, the long drive is a little bit of a different story. The dev hasn't updated in over a year. I know the dev had a community post where it was like, hey, game's not dead. Honestly, it was kind of weird because it was like 2 sentences. It was like, game's not dead, I don't like social interactions. And I was like, that's not really and it's just my opinion. It's not a good way to run your game. You know, like, you've got to try to be open with your audience, I think. It's kind of like running a YouTube channel. Like, if you're not communicating, and this is what this video is kind of for, because I like to do, like, you know, videos like this where I communicate with just my viewers, my hardcore viewers. If you're not communicating, it's not a really good way to make people want to go play your game. And honestly, I got kind of bored with it. Now, thankfully, the modding community on that game is amazing, because if they didn't exist, I don't think I would have played the game very long. But of course, they had the cool mods, traffic mod, Carl, there was just a ton of different mods on there, some new stops. And yeah, I can't do another series on it because I'm like, it's gonna be the same thing. Like, it's hard to get excited about the stops now, like all the different locations, because it's like you've seen them all a million times. There's nothing being added to the game, and the dev was doing a really good job there for a little bit. When they added, oh, that's a cop. That's fine. Yeah, when they started adding stuff, they changed up the way the world was working, and it was really quite cool. And I got really excited, and then once again, it was like a group of updates, and then they went silent again. And it's like, all right, it hadn't been updated in like a year. So yeah, I just don't have interest. So hopefully that addresses the 3 games. Mambo Zoo, just waiting on an update. Long Drive is kind of the same thing. I'm just not as optimistic for it. And Tiny Town, I don't have interest. I don't think I could do anything else unique in that game that I haven't already done, and I just don't want to repeat that series. Now, real quick, we are doing some new stuff on the channel. We've been playing a mall game. That's been fun. I've been kind of bringing back some mobile games. You might have seen a Roblox game. I don't know if that video is out yet. There's some stuff that I'm actually kind of looking forward to doing again. And, of course, we always got my anchor games like Stormworks. I do still a decent bit of that. Brick Rigs, we actually have a Brick Rigs episode coming out really soon with the boys. And of course, BeamNG. I mean, the BeamNG modding community is like the best thing ever. And that is like my dream game as a child. Just a car game that basically has it all. So yeah, that's still going to go strong. Plus the devs are amazing. The updates are like top tier. So nothing happening with it. So yeah, that just kind of gives you, I guess, a state of things on the channel. And just kind of like what I am and am not going to do. Like I said, I'm not really in that view chasing mode. Now, I do have a second channel that we do a little bit more trendy topics and games. Camodo 2, if you're not familiar with it. Yeah, it's really fun, but like I want to keep it over there. I don't think I ever want to slip Camodo Gaming back into some weird... I just blew through that stop sign, by the way. That wasn't even close. Yeah, that was really bad. But yeah, I don't think I'm kind of to that point where I've done this, which, by the way, my 10th anniversary is in January, I think. I think it's January 16th. I could be wrong about the exact date. I've been doing YouTube for a long time. And honestly, the whole fact that I still get like 15 plus million views a month is ridiculous. Because like most YouTubers, they come and go really quick. There's not many that typically stick around for a long time. So I'm honored to have like my viewers that I do. It's like I have the most like privileged job. Like I can't sit there and complain about my job where it's like, oh man, I don't want to wake up and play video games today. No, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, no, I'm not complaining for that. Now YouTube's changed a lot. I don't really 100% like the platform and where it's gone. Mainly just kind of what you have to do to get views these days. You know, and I will admit, we did it back then. I mean, we made some really corny videos, but they were fun for the time. But man, it's gotten really bad. I was like, what happened to like fun, scary characters? Now it's like, you know, these brain rot things. I don't even really want to mention them. It's just, they're really bad. So that's kind of why, like, when I decided, I was like, you know what, let's just try to have fun with it now. Still get to play with the boys, still get to play with the Beam guys. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I'm super thankful to still be here. So yeah, I guess it's probably time for, well, we call it story time. That sounds really corny. It's like, oh, story time with Camodo. So probably one of the reasons you clicked on this video was the title, which I don't think I made it in the sense of like, oh, okay, I'm quitting YouTube. Like I just almost quit. So back in 2017, and you guys can't actually see it. So it would have been, what, 8 years ago now. You probably, if you're like a hardcore and you've been here since then, you would know that there was a period of time where there was probably almost a 2-month gap in videos. And I've talked about it a little bit where I was like, oh man, I got really burnt out and I almost quit the channel. But I don't think anybody knows how truly close I was to no longer being Camodo Gaming. Like literally erasing Camodo Gaming from the internet. So, fun fact, I started off in a game called Scrap Mechanic. I pretty much had almost instant success on YouTube, which is, I know that it almost sounds kind of cocky, but it was true. Like my first video, which was never released, was like a review on like Rainbow Six Siege, and then Scrap Mechanic came out and I was like, oh, I want to give this game a try, and then almost instantly I was getting views, which you could see the first video. It's the off-road school bus. I sound really weird in that video, by the way. I thought I had to talk a certain way to be a YouTuber, and it came across so bad. But yeah, that was pretty much instant views, and I rode that wave. I was like, okay, this is cool. I'm having fun with this. It's a creative game. And I started doing like the town and stuff like that, and I was getting a lot of views, but I couldn't help but feel like, I was like, are they watching for me, or are they watching for the builds that I'm doing? So I kind of got that in the back of my head, and I was like, this isn't what I pictured when I wanted to do a YouTube channel. When I decided I wanted to sit down and like record and commit to this, I was like, oh yeah, I just want to have a lot of fun. And then as soon as the fun kind of stopped with Scrap Mechanic, I was like, ooh, is this really what I'm stuck doing? And like, am I not going to be able to do anything else? Because I would do other games. I think I didn't have much success with anything else. And like, if I played other games, it was just basically people screaming, whoa, you need to do Scrap Mechanic. But thankfully there were some bright spots. I of course had the multiplayer dudes, Scrapman, Con, Moombo. We still had like multiplayer Monday and all that. So there were some bright spots, but I think I remember just one day, and keep in mind, I was still working at this point. Like I had a in real life job. I actually had an in real life job up to, I think it was a little over 100,000 subscribers, funny enough. We'll talk about that here in a second. So it kind of puts the story out of order here. But yeah, I still had a job, and I remember sitting there, there was like a couple days like where I tried to do something different. It completely bombed. I remember multiplayer Monday slowed up for me. Like it wasn't doing as well either. So I was like, okay, so I'm not allowed to really like have fun. So, and I was just burnt out on sitting down, 7-8 hours ahead of a video trying to do a build. And yeah, I literally stopped recording. I think I told the multiplayer Monday guys, I was like, I'm taking a break. And I had already decided, it's like, oh yeah, I'm quitting. Like I'm not doing YouTube anymore. I was like, it was fun. I had gotten up to like, I want to say it was probably maybe a 20,000 subscribers, 30,000. And I was doing like relatively well. It was, I was getting paid. I was like, this is fun, but the getting paid was fun. I was already burnt out on Scrap Mechanic by then. And yeah, I just kind of had like one of those, I don't want to call it like a mental breakdown, because it wasn't like that severe, but it was to the point where I was done. And I was like, I kind of wanted to forget about YouTube, because I was like, I was afraid of rediscovering my channel, say years down the road. So yeah, I had already been on break for like almost a month by then. I didn't really even have a lot of communication with the other guys. Like, they check in, and which I'm thankful for those guys. They would check in and be like, hey, everything going okay? And I was just kind of like, yeah, is what it is. And then one night I was like, you know what? I'm afraid of seeing this channel here in a couple years and regretting this decision. So the best way for me to forget about it was to delete that account. So I think I was in the settings, like where I could sit there and delete that Google account. Actually, was it a Google account by then? At some point they switched over. I think it was a separate account at first, but I remember sitting there and going, all right, I'm just going to delete this. And I couldn't do it. I absolutely could not do it, because one, I was like, okay, the first thought was, I'm going to not want to see this ever again, so I need to forget about it. But then the second thought was, oh man, I'm not going to see this ever again. I don't think I can forget about it. So I was like, I sat there, I kept myself from actually deleting it, that is literally life-changing. Like, if I would have deleted that, I wouldn't be the same way right now. I would be probably working I might even been working the same job. I don't know. Actually, I probably would have gotten tired of it by then. Probably wouldn't have met my wife. Like, it would have been game changing, and not in a good way, I don't think. So let's drop the load off here. I'm not gonna park this trailer. Sorry. All right, so that is dropped off. Let's just go on a little cruise here to finish this off. It's not gonna be a super long episode like what me and OB do, because this is morely addressing some stuff, giving a channel update, and giving you guys a little bit of, I guess, a little bit of a form down below to ask questions. I might not answer them all when this video comes out. I might give it a day, so if you don't get like an immediate answer, you know, don't worry. I'm gonna be looking through these. But yeah, so I almost quit. I kept myself from doing it. And funny enough, I kind of came back and did some multiplayer Monday. I remember I started back off doing that again. Still wasn't happy. I was like, it's still in the back of my head going, all right, I'm done. I'm not going to really do this anymore. But it so happened, and this is the saver, as much as the, I know the community, well, I don't say the whole community. Some of the Brickricks community doesn't like us, but, and I get it. You know, we did some pretty corny videos. Brickricks came around, and I was like, oh, I want to try this out. And boy, I was like, this is refreshing. This is fun. And it took off. And I was super, like, it was shocking. Like, when it took off, I mean, it took off. You know, I went from, get out the way. I went from, you know, getting maybe 1,000 or 2,000 views after I released a video an hour to all of a sudden, I remember I had a video explode. I was getting 15,000 views an hour. I was like, what is this? I was like, this is ridiculous. And yeah, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, well, he just did it for the views. No, I actually legitimately enjoyed the game. And what made me enjoy the game is I found Spy, I found OB, and I was like, this is what I pictured YouTube being. Like, we just went in there and we were able to just do random things, do racing, cops versus robbers, and it honestly was the greatest time. I'm about to do the most illegal maneuver to get onto the highway here, because this is where I want to go. I don't even know where I'm going. Am I still in Arkansas? I think I am. But yeah, it wasn't like, don't get me wrong, views are great. You know, like, you see view numbers, you get excited. But it was also, I can do this and just have fun. And we can make funny, stupid, silly videos. And then we started doing Gmod and stuff like that. And boy, it took off. And I was like, I am so glad I did not delete my channel. And now that you look at it now, it's like, especially after, that was probably 8 years ago, 7, 8 years ago. I'm like, that would have been the absolute biggest mistake of my life. Like, YouTube's been life-changing. I'm still happy doing it. I still love my audience. Now, we don't do as much of the other stuff as we used to, but we kind of do. Like, I still pop in Brick Rigs, even though the game's like 8 years old now. I still do some Stormworks. I try to do at least once a week. Occasionally you get twice. And guess what? Gmod still exists on the second channel. Like, you can go there now, and if you haven't tuned into Gmod episodes and you're like, man, I wish he still did that, oh boy, you have a lot of catching up to do, because there's a lot of Gmod over there. There's role plays, hide and seeks, you name it, we've done it over there. So I kind of want to keep it over there though, because I feel like that might be directed at a little bit, and this is a weird thing, I do feel like my audience has aged up. And of course, there's a lot of my audience that they'll come back and be like, hey, I watched you when I was like 6, and now they're like either getting close to graduate or they're in like high school, and it's like, holy man, I've been doing this a long time. So I kind of still wanted to do the Gmod stuff and a little sillier like horror games and stuff like that. So that's on Camodo too. But yeah, I'm super happy. Honestly, getting to do this as long as I have. I don't know what I'm gonna do for like the 10-year anniversary. Maybe we'll pop that scrap mechanic out, and maybe we'll do like another off-road school bus. You know, I thought about that being a neat idea for 10 years. If you guys have any ideas, let me know down below. But I'm super glad I never clicked the delete button, because that would have been the worst decision of my life. I wouldn't have got to meet my friends. I wouldn't have been able to make friends, which, by the way, there's no drama between the old group. You know, I actually played with Con not too long ago, and I think Con might be joining us on some Beam and G, I think. But yeah, super thankful for those guys. Super thankful even to, like, I know people try to make some drama about the Brandon thing. Nope, still super thankful. Got to play with him. It is funny. you know, I thought about it. I was like, man, should I be mad that he kind of just left the group? And I was like, you know what? I did the same thing, honestly, with the Multiplayer Monday guys. And that's one regret I have with YouTube, was leaving the way I did. Oh, I can't turn here. Because, I mean, those guys were awesome. You know, like, just straight up leaving. And it was just because, it was more because I wasn't really happy. And, yeah, I didn't see, like, Scrap Mechanic. Like, I didn't want to play it anymore. So, but I can't sit there and be mad at one person knowing that I kind of did the same thing as far as, like, just leaving a group to go try to pursue, I guess you can call it, greener pastures. So yeah, that's one thing that I definitely can't be mad about. But I'm super happy. I hopefully get to do this for, I don't know if I'm gonna make it another 10 years. I think eventually I'd want to do something else, because there's a couple things that I do outside of, well, actually, I don't want to say it's outside of my business, because it is my business now, and that is I play guitar. I'm gonna flash maybe my amps up on screen. I've actually been working on recording music for the channel, and eventually I think I do want to do maybe a music channel, like a dedicated one later down the line. But I figured this is something that I've been passionate about for a long time. I was like, man, I can record some of my music, and guess what? You record your own music, you shouldn't have to worry about copyright strikes. So that's one of the biggest things for it. So kind of been working on that. Yeah, that's kind of like my passion outside of YouTube. Like, literally, I play sim racing and like racing games outside of YouTube, but I don't play a lot of other games. But if you maybe choose between like a thing where it's like, all right, you can either play video games outside of YouTube or you play music and guitar, I would pick guitar any day of the week, because that's like my passion. I don't know, I thought I should throw that out there and ramble about it for a second, but I'm gonna stop rambling. You guys can give me comments or questions down below, and we'll see you guys next time.